What if I told you that one of my favorite games of all time, Root, could be getting replaced? That would be pretty crazy, right? But luckily, that is not happening today. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Wolfpack. Today, I am not telling you that one of my favorite games are getting replaced. Instead, I wanted to break down just a really interesting topic that I was thinking about because it stemmed from me enjoying Roth so much. But I wanted to diverge this topic into sort of two paths here. The first path is, what if there's a game that is so similar to its predecessor? What would it take for you to replace that? And in this case, I'm using this example. Dwellings. Oh, look at this. The crocodile version too. In shrink still. Just keeping it as a trophy at this point, just for myself. I'm low-key thinking about getting rid of my original Dwellings copy so I could just keep this one in shrink. But besides the point today, what did it take for me to replace Dwellings of Eldervale with Andromeda's Edge? And there were a couple things. For me, it's pretty simple. It's mostly that Andromeda's Edge improved upon the most fun parts of Dwellings of Eldervale and just refined it. It made the parts that weren't as fun a lot more fun. Example being the raiders. So it sucks being able to take over a monster, but then you lose that monster really fast. Andromeda's Edge fixed that, especially with expansion now, where you are allowed to dominate, quote, monsters, dominate raiders, and use their abilities now in ways that have never been done before, where it's just a lot more streamlined and you're able to keep on to your monster, because the worst feeling is you spending all these resources in Dwellings and then you realize that it got taken out in 2 seconds. The second thing, combat didn't always feel good because you would invest all these resources and then you realize that, shoot, I just lost this battle and there's no way for me to reroll dice. Well, targeting fixes that. What you invest now pays off. And then the rewards are also better now too. So that's the thing with replacing older titles. It's that the newer games gives you more incentive to feel rewarded, and it's just more fun to play the mechanics that are more streamlined. So that right there is what took Dwellings to get replaced by Andromeda's Edge for me, because the gameplay was just more fun, it was more smooth, and it was something where if you pitted both of them side by side next to each other and you asked me, okay, would you rather play Dwellings tonight or Andromeda tonight? I asked myself, which one right now would bring me the most joy? And it always has been Andromeda's Edge. I actually have not picked up Dwellings of Eldervale ever since Andromeda came out. No joke. Now, what if the titles were different? Instead of having a predecessor, what if the games are just totally different? And in this case, I wanted to compare Roth versus Root. You see, Roth and Root are very similar. Both are area control games. Both have major asymmetric factions. Both are even trying to get you to win 30 points in order for victory to be declared from that. So what's crazy is that I still don't think Roth, since it is the more recent title for me, replaces Root, because they both meet completely different needs. Even if they both are area control, what's different is that Roth is much faster to play. So if I want something a lot lighter, if I want something that's less thinky, then I'm gonna go Roth that day. But if I wanna just get fully immersed into a bunch of characters that are playing in completely different ways, then I'm gonna go Root. And that's why both are separate for me, because yes, Roth is lighter, it is easier to table, but I sometimes am missing and craving that depth that Root offers. And on top of that, you are also fighting in different ways too. Roth, it is fully area control, but Root, you don't always want to compete for different clearings. You don't score points off of those clearings. But Roth, you do. Every single area has a number of points that you can score between 1 and 3, plus some other rewards too. And on top of that, the phases of the game, totally different. In Roth, everyone is taking the same phase. But in Root, everyone has 3 different phases. So what's interesting is that yes, they are very similar, but inherently, they have a completely different vibe, and they also have a different theme, and they have different ways to approach victory and to approach your thought process on making decisions that feel totally different in terms of their impact. So for me, they don't replace each other, and I don't see them replacing each other anytime soon. Even if I'm craving area control, sometimes I'm feeling like Roth, sometimes I'm feeling like Root. Realistically, I do see Roth getting played more often because it is lighter, but that doesn't mean that Root is going anywhere. Now, more importantly, what do you all think about this? Are there certain games that have completely replaced other titles for you? Or do you kind of just sit on it like me and it depends on the mood that you're in? Would you keep both games as if you had games like Andromeda to Dwellings, would you keep both or would you stop playing one like I did there? And if you had games like Root and a lighter version like Roth, would you rather get rid of Root and keep Roth? I don't know. Those are very interesting and difficult questions, and there are a lot of ways to approach this topic. So I'm excited to see what you all think. If you made it to the very end, go ahead and comment choice, because sometimes our choices become very, very difficult when we're trying to replace games in our collection or just keep both. And by the way, a little fun fact here. This is all recorded on the brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max. So phones have come a long way now, and I've even color graded this in log. Look at this. I am recording landscape footage in log while this is in portrait orientation. Just think about that for a second. It just blows my mind. It's wild what phones can do now. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.